What does it mean to be a true man? Do you know what it means? There has been a dramatic decrease in the number of male role models for young men, and as a consequence, many of them are having difficulty defining what it means to be masculine. Unhappily, this is the truth. On the other hand, if you are interested in cultivating strong masculine attributes, you have arrived at the perfect location. The following are 7 characteristics that every man ought to have. 1. Dependence on oneself. Due to the fact that it places its trust not in the branch itself but rather in its own wings, a bird that is perched on a branch is never concerned about the branch breaking. This quotation brilliantly exemplifies the concept of self-reliance. The bird is no longer dependent on the tree but rather on itself. Everyone needs to learn how to rely on themselves, but men need to learn it much more. How come? Mostly due to the fact that if you are a man, no one will come to save you. As a matter of fact, the contrary is frequently true. Individuals will come to you for assistance and solutions to problems. People will view you as a worthless individual if you are unable to provide any assistance. It is the harsh truth of the world that we live in. There is no way that you can rely on your good looks to get you out of difficult situations, and you also cannot expect other people to assist you. Self-reliance is the ability to trust one's own talents to negotiate the problems that life presents, to provide for oneself, and to defend oneself without relying on the assistance of other people. This is a quality that can be mastered by every man. 2. Be ignorant of opinions. If you let random opinions to govern your behavior, you will not advance as a man because the majority of opinions are worthless and will only serve to keep you back. If the individual who is offering you advice is not in the same place in life that you would like to be, then why should you even care? The majority of the time, they either do not comprehend the destination you have in mind or believe that it is unattainable. It is not appropriate for you to become arrogant and believe that you are an expert on everything. When it comes to achieving your objectives, there are moments when you should be humble and hear what the proper people have to say, but there are also occasions when you need be stubborn. One of the simplest ways to achieve equilibrium is to take into account the results of the individual before even taking into account their opinion. The likelihood is that their opinion is also a waste of time if their life is a disaster. Do not forget that. 3. Control of one's emotions. Only women and children have the luxury of allowing their feelings to direct their behavior. Real men cannot afford to do so. Men that are the most macho are able to maintain control over their feelings. They are able to manage how they use these emotions, which does not mean that they never experience negative emotions like anger or sadness. There was an entire video that I had uploaded to YouTube on controlling my emotions, but it was removed. Because of this, I have begun a free weekly in which I will provide knowledge that is both important and unedited. This email will include the video that I have created on emotional management. Within the description that follows, you will find a link to the newsletter. You will see improvements in all aspects of your life, including your finances, your relationships, and your personal life, if you are able to successfully manage your feelings. In a sense, it is a deadly weapon that can assist you in ascending to the highest levels of life. 4. Become a monstrous being. You should be a monster, an absolute monster, and then you should learn how to control it, Jordan Peterson famously remarked. You should learn how to control it. He has a point. That you should be virtuous and harmless, and that you should not cause harm to anyone, is something that everyone will tell you, but they are mistaken. The sooner you make the decision to be harmless, the sooner you will be confronted with threats that you will not be able to protect yourself from, let alone anyone else that you care about. Your role as a male requires you to act as a guardian. You have the capability of becoming quite dangerous, and you ought to make the most of this aspect of your personality. The testosterone levels in your body might be increased by leading a life that is difficult and competitive. There is a correlation between the amount of physical stress you put on yourself and the strength of your body. Do not throw away this present. Whether you are the most successful businessman or a quiet monk, if you do not sharpen yourself physically, you are lacking in masculinity. This is true regardless of your personal circumstances. There are a lot of guys that love lifting weights, which is a fantastic way to improve physical strength, but are you able to fight? When someone punches you, do you experience a flinching reaction? Have you ever got into a fight? The practice of martial arts is an excellent method for developing a more manly appearance, and it can be combined with weightlifting. Every time you improve your physical strength, you will also improve your mental strength. 5. Make the necessary repairs. The world is built by men, and as a result, they are the ones who possess the fundamental repair abilities. To save time and money, it is beneficial to be knowledgeable about how to perform basic repairs around the house as well as how to maintain automobiles. When you do require the assistance of a professional, it also helps you avoid being taken advantage of. This does not mean that you have to pretend to be Mr. Handyman and fix everything on your own. There are some activities that require a specialist or take a lot of time to complete. In circumstances like these, it may be advantageous to pay someone else to carry out the task, as this will let you to concentrate on other matters. Nevertheless, you ought to be familiar with the fundamentals of maintenance at the very least. Because many men have been brought up without fathers, it is possible that they do not possess these talents. Nonetheless, it is always possible to acquire them, even if it takes some time. You can find everything you want to study on YouTube these days, so there is no reason to ignore it or feel embarrassed about beginning your education. It is important to begin with smaller projects. You will have a sense of fulfillment after repairing or constructing something, even if it is something as basic as arranging a tiny desk or closet. This is a sensation that every guy has after constructing or repairing something. 6. Step outside of your comfort zone. A man's comfort zone may be the source of discomfort for another man. At the same time that one man might be skillful and capable of fixing everything, he might discover that regular social activities and chats are uncomfortable for themselves. It's possible that another individual is exceptional in social circumstances or leadership, but suffers when it comes to practical abilities. It is necessary for both guys to investigate their discomforts. It is simple to stick to what you are good at, and it is really beneficial to concentrate on the things that you are good at. In spite of this, you should not be afraid to venture outside of your comfort zone because that is where the most growth takes place. It's not uncommon to find the things you require the most in the places you least want to look for them. This is the reason why the hero needs to vanquish the dragon in order to acquire the wealth. If you want to find great solutions, you must first endure sorrow, which is why you should always challenge yourself. The more you are able to triumph over these obstacles, the more you will develop as a man and strengthen your manly vitality. 7. Be honest what you say. Lies are a manifestation of fear. When you have the need to tell a lie, it is because you are terrified of the consequences. The same can be said for agreeing with individuals solely for the sake of gaining their favor. Both of these activities are motivated by fear, which is appalling. Truth is spoken by guys who are strong and macho. Whether you choose to speak the truth without fear or to remain silent. Do not forget to offer some love by clicking the like and subscribe buttons if you want to advance in life. This will help you achieve your goals. Before we meet again,